Hello, this is Mini Movie Reviews, and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, no, it's not. But it's not the worst X-Men movie. It's not the best either. It's just, It's just a movie to me. Solid 5 out of 10. But I'll get into that on my official review if I ever make one. But for today, I'm counting down the 10 things I would change about this movie. Number 1, I would change the CGI. I mean, just everything. In fact, I'll just fire the new CGI guy and just use no CGI. Actually, I guess a little because Gambit needs some CGI. But for the claws specifically, I just use the same metal claws they used in the first one because that, worked. Number 2, less love story. I would cut down the love story to about 30 seconds. Because let's face it, in the other movies, we had, a little bit of, subtle things with him and Jean, and then Cyclops would come in and ruin everything. But for the most part, it was in the background of the story. In this movie, they try to shove it to the forefront, and it didn't work at all. So, yeah, 30 seconds of that. Number 3, less screaming into the sky. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, but it is worth saying. You can do it once, but that's it. Just move on. Okay. Number 4. Okay. This scene makes me mad. There's a scene with the, you know, electricity controlling guy and Sabretooth sort of meet up. Sabretooth's like, I'm gonna kill you because I killed Wade or something. I don't know. But anyway, they pretty much imply that Sabretooth and Deadpool fought each other. And they don't show us. What the heck, movie? So, this is what I'd change. I'd switch the scenes around and have Sabretooth come up to Wade and be like, hey, I'm gonna kill you because I killed the electricity guy that no one cares about. And Wade can be like, oh no, we gotta fight. And they fight. And Sabretooth runs away because he's a coward. And then Deadpool probably go meet with William and Wolverine at the boxing place to go help them. And that's where the movie sort of changes. That's the main difference I change in this movie. Number 5, I change a bunch of things about that Gambit scene in the bar. First, Deadpool would actually be there with them, so when they first walk in, Wolverine would be like, hey, William, go check the back. And Wade's gonna be like, I'll check the bar. He'd be like, no, he's right there playing poker, because you could see him throwing cards in the air. Deadpool's like, no, I think he's at the bar. So Deadpool goes to the bar to, hit on some chicks. And then the same conversation happens. William gets beat up by Sabretooth, gets taken away, not killed. He lives in my version for later. And Wolverine and Gambit fight the same, I guess. It's not a big change, but, I put Deadpool in there, so I gotta explain what I'm using him for. Number 6! The next thing I'll change is, some stuff at the island. Not the movie that Michael Bay made. That's surprisingly watchable for a Michael Bay movie. No, I'm talking about when Wolverine and Gambit fly over to the island. I'm adding Deadpool in there, so it's like the three of them versus Stryker and stuff. Anyway, the main thing I'm tying it in with X-Men 2. Stryker killed Wolverine's girlfriend, not fake her death. She's actually dead. No, he in my version, he kills her and uses her blood to develop a potion to control mutants' minds, like he has in X-Men United. It just makes sense when you're, crossing things over and stuff. You gotta make those connections. You gotta watch the other movies. But it seems like the guy who made this didn't watch the other movies, so he didn't connect that. So yeah, that's my thing. Mind potion stuff. Number 7. Here's my main change about, this whole movie. It's the third act. Instead of Wolverine versus Barakapool, it's Wolverine, Deadpool, and Gambit versus all the other mutants that showed up in this movie being mind-controlled by Stryker using magic blood. And it would just be this super long, super awesome action scene with all of our favorite characters fighting all of the characters we don't care about. And let's face it, even if everything up to this point was total crap, this scene would be so cool to see. But it didn't happen because the people who made this movie are dumb and they're like, it's Wolverine's solo movie. We need to have Wolverine by himself. But still be dumb and try to cater to fans, even though it won't be catering to fans if we take away the best thing about the character. And I'm just I'm just really mad about what they did. Let's just move on to 7. Number 8. Yeah, I'm killing off most of the people because we don't need them in future movies because most of them are crap. So, Blob, you're dead. William, you're dead. Lightbulb guy, you're dead. Cyclops, you have to live because continuity, but let's face it, you were really boring in this movie, so if I had my way, you'd be dead, but I guess you can live. You just get elbowed in the face or something. Sabretooth, you live because I've been building up that you're a coward the entire movie, so it would make sense why you would just leave at the last fight because you're losing. And that will also tie in with something later in the movie. So yeah, a lot of death because this is kind of a dark action movie. At least my version is. Number 9. Now, there's a certain scene in X-Men 1 that is possibly my favorite scene in the movie. Cyclops is unsure if Wolverine is really Wolverine, so Wolverine calls Cyclops a specific word that I'm not going to say because I don't like cursing, but, you know, I'm going to make a reference to that because that's what, at least if this movie's not good, it should at least reference the good movies to make you want to watch them, because that's what bad movies do. So, after Cyclops wakes up, he's like, oh, you mean the face because I'm a whiny person, because that's what they portray me in these movies. And then Wolverine would be like, stop being a villain, that word that he called him in X-Men 1. And then everyone has a good laugh and like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna watch X-Men 1 now because this movie's much better. Number 10. This is where Stryker comes out because, you know, his army was defeated and Gambit is helping Cyclops to the helicopter. Stryker comes out and shoots at Deadpool and we get the same slow motion shot like he's gonna chop the bullet in half, but it's an adamantium bullet. Dun dun dun. So the sword just sort of breaks in half and the bullet shoots into Deadpool's shoulder. He falls over, you know, in pain, and then Wolverine gets shot in the head and loses his memory because you kind of have to do that to complete the circle. You don't want to pull a pan and be like, this is the origin of Hook and Peter Pan, but don't actually show the origin of Hook and Peter Pan. At least it did that, right? Yeah, this movie did some things right, but not much. Very little, though. Number 10 and a half. Okay, this is my after credit scene idea here. You know how Sabretooth left? Well, I'm gonna tie in another thing to X-Men 1, because that's what prequels do. Whether we like it or not, that's just what they do. So, we got Sabretooth in the woods, chowing down on some deer. We don't see his face, we just see the back of his head, but his hair is kind of long, and like, oh, he's been in the woods a while, maybe a few years. And then, you see the trees start shaking, you see a guy sort of not fly, more like float through, and it's Magneto. You don't see his face, you just see the back of his head, because why show someone's face and try to CGI them younger? Because that's just dumb. And we hear Eamon McKellen's voice be like, what's a mutant with your power doing in a place like this? And then Sabretooth turns around and sort of stares at the camera, and his eyes are real big, and he's got the hair all over his face, and he looks like in between X-Men Origins and X-Men 1. So we could see his mutant ability sort of causes his hair to grow fast, and he just sort of let himself go. That's why he looks like a teddy bear in X-Men 1. So, that's a good way to connect the movies, and a nice little nod, be like, hey, watch X-Men 1. Stop watching this movie, and watch X-Men 1. Because that's what, like I said, bad prequels, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be like, oh, I don't like this. I'm gonna watch the old ones that are better. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. And that's all I got for you lovely people. If you like my version of this movie, comment below. Let me know how much you like it. If you don't like it, go away. I don't care what you think. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Post it up there. And, you know, don't forget to subscribe to this amazing channel for more good content. Or at least I try to make it good. I really do. But it's not always that way. I hope this is good, because this is a long video. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye, and still no sign off. Sorry, I'll think of one eventually.